Welcome back, fans, to the ECHL Insider. I'm your host, Garrett Hunter, excited to get you caught up on last week's action and preview this week with our top 5 games of the week. Let's get started in the Central Division, where it was a very close matchup between the rivalry Walleye and Cyclones. Toledo, though, won this a close 5-4 game to keep the Cincinnati Cyclones winless on the year. They now have lost 4 in regulation, 1 in overtime, and 1 in a shootout. Also, the Florida Everblades and South Carolina Stingrays went at it 2 times this weekend. A 3-0 win on Friday for the Stingrays, but then the Everblades responded on Saturday night with a 4-3 overtime winner. And the Fort Wayne Komets impressed a lot of people this weekend going into Mavs country, beating Kansas City 4-1 and 4-3 in a shootout. Just a lot of endurance showed by this Komets team to, you go to overtime against a team like Kansas City. That takes a lot of endurance to get out of there and get into a shootout with them. And so very great job by Fort Wayne this week. And I think they showed it with 2 wins over a very good Kansas City team. Well, let's get you now to the top 5 games of the week. A loaded schedule to get to. So we will start at the top at number 5, where it's the Norfolk Admirals and the Reading Royals going at it on Wednesday night in Santander Arena. Should be a really good matchup. Obviously, Reading off to a pretty good start. They have played by far the most games, though, in the North Division. That's one of the reasons why they're at the top of the North Division right now. But off to a 4-4 start. Norfolk, they've played well as well, getting some great wins over the Worcester Railers last week. So should be a great game early in the season. These 2 teams, obviously, with playoff aspirations. So, you can't make the playoffs in November, but you definitely can make good wins to build toward a playoff run. So these 2 teams will look to do that on Wednesday. And next, we have a Mountain Division matchup to talk about: the Tulsa Oilers and the Wichita Thunder on Sunday afternoon. Who would have thought that, yes, early into the season, that the Wichita Thunder lead the Mountain Division and have 5 straight wins? Wichita has been a very, very fun team to watch, I have to admit, through these first few games. Wichita, whether it's that overtime win we talked about, or just these close games that they've won, or when they shut out Rapid City this week, just very, very fun team to watch. They have been great down the stretch here early, but they run into a very good Tulsa team, so should be interesting late in the week. Both teams have a few matchups before that, so tiredness and fatigue can also come into factor when you're at the end of your week's schedule. So very good matchup, though, on Sunday. And the Norfolk Admirals, have to talk about them again because they play the Adirondack Thunder on Friday and Saturday. Very good matchup. These 2 teams were the top 2 in the North last year, meeting in the North Division Finals. So, obviously that's fresh in both of these teams' mind that they both were the ones who go the farthest in this division last year. So this should be a very good test of where these 2 teams are at early in the year. I think they know a lot about each other but haven't played yet, so it should be a very good test for both of these teams to see where they're at. And at number 2, the Idaho Steelheads travel south to the East Coast to take on the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it'll be the first ever meeting between the Steelheads and Ghost Pirates. Ghost Pirates, got to give them a shout out. A 5-1 start to the season with a new coaching staff, a lot of new players. Goaltending is completely new. They have played just outstanding, honestly. And I think you got to give some props, obviously, to Jarrett Stahl, the new head coach, but also some props to their new affiliate. The Florida Panthers and Charlotte Checkers of the AHL have provided them with a lot of great players so far this season that have really plugged into their roster and helped them in a lot of different areas. So they look to keep it going. But a team they don't know from the Mountain Division and a very successful team year in and year out in the Idaho Steelheads should be a great 3-game set this weekend. And our top game of the week One of the biggest rivalries also in the ECHL, the Fort Wayne Comets and the Toledo Walleye, currently sitting in the top 1 and 2 spots in the Central Division. Fort Wayne at number 1 right now. They have played very well to start out the season, but this Friday night matchup in Huntington Center should be very interesting. Always a lot of extracurriculars when we talk about these two teams meeting up. A lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of penalty minutes, so should be interesting on Friday night to tune into this one. And also, we talk about to see where you're at type of game. I think this is true for both of these teams, right? You know you're going up against a great opponent. You want to see where you're at, where you stack up to them. You know you'll be playing them several more times in the regular season. Kind of a game you want to see, hey, we've had some good success here early in the year, but now we face off against a really good team. Let's see how we do in this big matchup. So I think for Fort Wayne and Toledo should be a great game. So excited to see that on Friday night. Well, make sure now to check out our Fight of the Week. Another great scrap for you. And after you do that, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed hearing about our content. And we will see you next week to get you caught up on more ECHL action.
It's the draw. Lowe is back out now, 5-on-4. Kaliski with the puck, and we got a fight. Jabril Torrey's going to go with Ty Cheveldayoff, and they'll clear room for the big boys here. Crowd on its feet as they engage over at the blue line. Hard right by Cheveldayoff, answered by 2 left from Torrey. Torrey, left hands on Cheveldayoff, connects, knocks him down. Now they're back up and down they go again. Cheveldayoff landed a hard right off the start, but then it was 3 lefts from Torrey in a row that caught Cheveldayoff.